Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another episode of Research 101. If you are new, my name is Aamir Hussain. I am a postdoc at University of Leicester in the UK. I love talking about research so much so I decided to make YouTube videos about it. So as you can tell from the title of today's video, we're talking about how to actually apply for a PhD. Now many of you might be doing PhDs already, but I do know that a percentage of the audience might be in college, might be at university in their first degree, and they're thinking, okay, how can we apply for a PhD? So today's going to give you a bit of a snapshot about what to think about and then how to actually go about it. So we've got two parts. What to think about in terms of yourself, what you need to do to get yourself ready, and then how do you go about in terms of applying for a PhD. But before I go into those things, one thing I do need to remember is do subscribe if you can. You can see over here, not many of you are, and sometimes it hurts. But on a serious note, it would be really helpful for me in the channel if you do so. And another new bonus is that I have a weekly newsletter called ResearchTribe, and I'll be posting it once a week on Mondays. So when you are watching this video, the second installment of my newsletter will be out. Link in the video description, so do check it out. Do subscribe to that channel so you get all of the bits of advice that I may not put on the YouTube channel or on Instagram, and you got like a one-stop shop to look at all the stuff I put out in terms of content that week, what's coming up, what I find interesting, and many more other things. But in any case, let's get back to today's video. So in terms of what you can do to get yourself ready or to be the best PhD applicant, it's not looking at the, oh, I need to have this down, I need to get a first in my university degree, I need to do X, Y, and Z. It's taking a step back and look at the other things of what supervisors or people who are, recruiting for PhD students looking for. And one of the key things they are looking for is passion and enthusiasm for research. Now I know this sounds a bit corny, but the reason I've seen a lot of people get rejected for doing a PhD or they find it difficult to get the PhD position they want to is they may focus too much on the academic qualifications or the experiences, which is important, but not about how they project themselves, how they come across. And a lot of supervisors want to focus on that because that's something you can't teach. You can teach how to do an experiment. You can teach how to, come across in the interview if you're doing qualitative research, or how to analyze this. But what you find very difficult to teach is the passion and enthusiasm to do research. And they can tell if you're just doing it because you can't think of anything else to do, or it's because you think it's just easy to get a doctorate title. The passion comes in massively when you're looking about how you can be the best version of yourself for applying for a PhD. So let's say we put kind of passion at the top. You want to back that up by evidences of things that relate to your passion and interest. So that might be things that you read, work experiences that you've gone and done, even paid jobs you had in terms of being a research assistant, and that all goes back into your passion and enthusiasm to do research. Sometimes there's also kind of a trigger point. What is it that led you to be interested in research? These are very important things when you're applying for a PhD. Now, as a reminder, with any kind of character building exercise for any job, interpersonal skills are also important. Now, not just that you know how to use Microsoft Word, but no, other things related to research, kind of data analysis, being able to write for a paper. Maybe you've helped in terms of writing a paper back in your undergrad research project, or if you did a master's. These are all very crucial aspects about you doing tasks, you doing actions that are related to what a PhD student might be doing. Now, to add in terms of what you can do in this part of building yourself up to be the best applicant, is you want to strip apart and look at what does a PhD student actually do in terms of actions, not what their research is about, not what lab experiments they do, but if you look at it in terms of first principles, what is it that they're actually doing? Problem solving, time management, multitasking, managing different research projects, communication, dealing with other people. These are technically an actions of a PhD student. So when you're preparing yourself to apply for a PhD, you want evidences of all of these. Now I might put this into a PDF and I might link it in the description box below or put it into my newsletter if you think that's something useful. But you want to look at your peers. You might be at a university where you've got people who are PhD students. Analyze what they do. Speak to them as well about their own experiences, and you'll find the commonality. They showed evidences of these to the point where they wanted to say, right, I have preliminary experiences in this. A PhD will help me to boost my capabilities, my proficiencies in these areas. Because you got to remember, a PhD is a journey. It's going to be something that's going to build you. So if you can say you've got evidences right now, and you have the enthusiasm and the passion to develop it further during a PhD, you're going to be onto a winner in terms of being a good applicant for a PhD position. Now, on to the whole notion of applying for a PhD. Now, I'll be doing more videos on this kind of notion to help you get into the whole notion of research school. You know, people call it medical school for medicine. We can, I guess, call it research school for, or graduate school for PhDs. Now, in terms of actually how to apply for a PhD, it's generally seen as many other jobs. You know, you've got the whole candidate of your CV experiences, you write a personal statement. I might do a video on personal statement later. And then you go through the whole interview process, etc. But a lot of people forget, like, where do I go to apply for a PhD? Now, if you're in the UK, we've got an actual website called findaphd.com. There's other websites, kind of indeed.com, and these what I like to call country-specific job market websites, because the PhD is essentially a job for those who are fully funded. So make that your primary source of trying to find a PhD. And then number two, if you're struggling to find them, or if you're applying for them and you want to apply for more, look at university-specific job vacancies, because universities themselves will advertise for PhD positions. So you can also look at it directly on their website. Go onto the research part of their website, look at PhD opportunities. Now, once you've done that, the third, in terms of my kind of suggestion, is to look at funding councils. Now, funding councils are the kind of governing bodies who fund a lot of research. And you can go directly to them and see what PhD kind of scholarships they have, and see if you can apply to one of them in conjunction with a colleague you have at the university, or if you've got, if you're doing a master's, your supervisor, and saying that, look, this funding body has a PhD kind of scholarship, can we apply for it together? Can you be my kind of sponsored supervisor? I'll put together the proposal, can you kind of discuss if you think it's a good idea, and then can we put it in? And that's another way that you can apply for a PhD. Now, the last one in terms of applying for a PhD is something I recommend to a lot of people who ask me on Instagram. Again, find me on Instagram, Aamir.phd. And a lot of international students struggle to find a position within their own country and want to look at going to other countries. This is probably the best way to apply for a PhD, and that is read the papers that you are interested in that are quite recent, 2020, 2021. Email the authors of the people who are on that paper. That would lead you to the university that they are at, and then you can build dialogue to say, look, I am a person who did this degree, I'm looking to do a PhD in this area. I was wondering, do you have any positions available, or will you be doing so in the future? Can I offer my candidacy in this role or that role? And let's say 7 out of 10 you probably don't get a reply, but even if for those who do get a reply, you at least build a dialogue, and they can point you in the right direction of that particular area of research. Because you've read a very active and timely paper, that professor or that academic will know about that space a lot more than the average person. So they'll be able to direct you about this funding council, that supervisor, or that colleague has a position available. And through them, you can start to build a dialogue to potentially get to your right destination of applying for a PhD. So don't dismiss the emails of the authors of the papers that you find enjoyable, that you want to be in terms of research. And hopefully that can get you into a sort of direction to where you want to go in terms of applying for a PhD. So guys, that's a bit of a little crash course in terms of how to apply for a PhD, in terms of yourself, what you can do, and then the methods that I used in terms of applying for the actual position. Now, if you want more videos like this, more in-depth videos about how I did my personal statement, how I went in the interview, what did I prepare more, do let me know in the comment section down below. Do DM me on Instagram, Aamir.phd. And if you want to subscribe to my newsletter, again, link in the video description, please do so then we can have some kind of dialogues there. And I hopefully can make more content useful for you here on YouTube and on Instagram. But in any case, as always, I shall see you during the week. Do follow me on Instagram so then you can check out the little mini contents that I do. But I shall see you soon for the next YouTube video. Take care.